title of this game is Guardians of Balance, hoping to change that before the game is done. The forces of creation, destruction, chaos, and order are maintained by 4 deities. Every 1,000 years, the deities are reincarnated into and raised as mortals. When they come of age, the 4 deities will learn of their destinies and join together to begin their pilgrimage to the 4 artifacts of balance in order to maintain the natural balance and ascend to godhood. Throughout their journey, they must also find the balance with each other and learn to work as one, as well as learn more about the world they will soon maintain. The pilgrimage consists of visiting the shrines surrounding each artifact and overcoming whatever challenge the artifact itself has created. In addition to these challenges, the shrines have become part of human culture over the years and are heavily guarded. The deities will have to get past any human intervention as well, without destroying them or causing any imbalance to the world. In addition, this reincarnation's pilgrimage is met with the additional trouble of a being known only by the name Void, a force of nothingness who rose to power through the apathy and people of the present day. His goal is to steal the artifacts and break the balance, reducing the universe to nothing. I'm going to admit I do not have a firm grasp on what I want the visuals to be. I know I want the game to be 2D, completely 2D, and with the graphic style being more animated and stylized and realistic. I also know that I want the game to have a modern setting and that the characters and assets should reflect that. Gameplay-wise, the game is a puzzle platformer and planning to have at least some level of combat, although not a heavy amount. And you'll get through each stage using the 4 deities' unique powers to progress. Each deity has 2 powers as well as 1 passive trait that will help them progress through a level. The deities move together and the player can switch between all 4 deities on the fly. The only times they won't be able to switch are when falling or being hit or using one of their powers. And each deity on their own is able to run, jump, interact with characters, and carry objects. That's what the standard for each deity. The possible control scheme I've come up with so far would be on a controller. I haven't decided which, but this can work on pretty much any controller. Moving with the left and right of the D-pad, interacting and picking up objects with up on the D-pad, jumping with whatever one of the 4 buttons, attacking with one of the 4, and using the other 2 for powers. Switching with L, R, button, bumper, whatever you want to call them. The game will be split into 5 levels, and each one for each of the artifacts, and the final confrontation with Void. Each shrine will be in a different location, such as mountain regions and the city. I have not yet determined that, and that is something I'll be bouncing off of my team. Each level will be split into 3 segments: outside the shrine, inside the shrine, and a boss battle at the end. The goal of the outside is to get into the shrine, the goal of inside is to get to the artifact, and the goal of the boss battle is obviously to beat the boss. The player will traverse these levels by both solving platforming puzzles using the deities' powers and interacting with other characters to convince them to help you in some such way, such as convincing or tricking guards into letting you pass them. Creation's abilities are first ability is that he can memorize 1 object at a time and materialize an exact replica. Activating the power in front of an object memorizes the object, and activating again duplicates the object. The copy disappears if Creation makes another object. Creation's second power creates a shield that will break after a few hits and will disappear after a few seconds of use. And his passive ability is that he can walk on otherwise deadly surfaces such as spikes and lava for short periods of time without injury. Destruction can shatter objects in an instant, but the power is limited. He cannot destroy anything that is too large or too complex, so no heavy machinery or anything like that. He also has to make physical contact with an object to break it. And while not as powerful as the first power, Destruction can also create small bombs that he can throw and that will go off after a short period of time. His passive is that he is stronger than the rest of the deities and can lift and carry heavier objects. Order can restore any object to its original state, repairing broken objects in a few seconds. However, this requires a great deal of concentration, and all the pieces of the object have to be close together. Order can also stop the movement of any object, but it's limited to 1 object being frozen at a time. Activating the power creates a field in front of Order that freezes whatever the first thing to pass through it. And Order can walk on tightropes and other perilous terrain without any issues. Chaos can move any object by activating her power on it, holding the button down in a direction. The object will fly in that direction, but will keep moving until it hits something. and Chaos can make plants grow instantly and change certain objects into platforms temporarily. Chaos is the only deity that's able to double jump. And these powers I am willing to change if they become too hard to implement, and I will be bouncing that off the team. And an example of the obstacles that that may show up in the game, this is a very simplistic obstacle and probably will be early on in the game if you do something like this. A mechanical door that opens by moving upwards that destruction can't break can be opened with a lever, but the handle is broken and the largest piece is missing. It's lying behind a spiked floor not too far away, which is too long for creation to cross even with visibility. But Chaos can use her power on the nearby crate to widen it into a makeshift bridge, shortening the distance to the handle. Creation crosses and picks up the handle, returning to the door. Order then uses her power to reattach the handle to the switch, making it usable again. But the door is blocked from opening by a large rock on top of it. It's too high to reach normally, but Chaos can double jump to the ledge, then switches to Destruction, who breaks the rocks, letting the door open. And if we have more time and resources, these are some extra features that I would love to implement, but they are not required, which I would love to add more levels, voice acting, collectibles in the form of notes and letters written by the deities to show more of their personality, their quest, and the world. Challenge maps, possibly a multiplayer feature, and a level builder if I can. That's it.